In the arid deserts of Moab, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, Moses stood atop a mountain, his voice echoing across the vast expanse of the gathering Israelites. This was no ordinary speech. It was the final testament of a man who had led a people out of slavery and through the wilderness for 40 years. Moses, now an old man, knew he would not cross the Jordan River into the promised land. But his words, powerful and prophetic, would resonate through the ages, shaping the very soul of a nation. Moses' speech, often compared to the orations of Greco-Roman antiquity, was delivered at a critical juncture. The generation that had fled Egypt with him was dying out, and a new, younger generation was about to take up the mantle of leadership. The timing was crucial. Just as the Israelites prepared to enter the land they had been promised, they faced the aftermath of the great apostasy at Peor and the looming battle at Jericho. Moses' words were a final exhortation, a plea for the younger generation to embrace the history and the covenant that defined them. At the heart of Moses' speech was a call to love and fear the Lord. These two concepts, often seen as contradictory, are inextricably linked in the Deuteronomic text. Moses commands the Israelites to love the Lord their God with all their heart, soul, and might, and to revere him. The love he speaks of is not the emotional, spontaneous love we might associate with modern relationships. Instead, it is a covenantal love, a deep commitment to remain loyal to the terms of the covenant that God had made with their ancestors. This love is a call to action, a commitment to follow God's commandments and statutes with unwavering dedication. The concept of fear or reverence is equally important. When Moses says, "Fear the Lord your God," he is not advocating for a cowering, fearful obedience. Rather, he is calling for a profound respect and awe, a recognition of God's sovereignty and the consequences of disobedience. The fear of the Lord is not a paralyzing terror, but a motivating force that drives the Israelites to adhere to the covenant. It is a reminder that God's commands are not arbitrary, but are given for the good of the people. By fearing God, the Israelites acknowledge his authority and commit to living in accordance with his will. The relationship between love and fear is further illustrated in the passage that precedes the famous "Hear, O Israel" declaration. Here, Moses emphasizes the importance of following God's laws and commandments, not out of mere submission, but out of a deep and abiding reverence for the Lord. He reminds the Israelites that their obedience will lead to long life and prosperity in the land they are about to enter. The land, with its cities, houses, and vineyards, is a gift from God, and the Israelites are to remember this as they enjoy its fruits. This reminder serves as a constant call to gratitude and faithfulness. However, the Israelites have not always been faithful. From the crossing of the Red Sea to the impending crossing of the Jordan, their journey has been marked by obstinate complaint, skepticism, and rebellion. Moses is acutely aware of this history, and his speech is a desperate plea for a change of heart. He uses a powerful metaphor to drive this point home. "Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no longer stubborn." This metaphor is both vivid and profound. Just as physical circumcision is a sign of a covenant, The circumcision of the heart is a symbolic act of surrendering one's mental and emotional autonomy to God. It is a call to remove the barriers that prevent true obedience and to embrace a new, more ardent commitment to the covenant. Moses' call for a circumcised heart is not just a metaphorical exhortation. It is a practical command. He urges the Israelites to walk in all of God's ways, to serve Him with all their heart and soul, and to keep His commandments and statutes. This is not a call to mere external obedience, but to a transformation of the inner person. The Israelites are to be a people who internalize God's laws, who live them out in every aspect of their lives. This internalization is the essence of the covenantal relationship that Moses is striving to instill in the hearts of the people. The blessings and curses that follow Moses' exhortation serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of obedience and disobedience. The blessings are a promise of prosperity, security, and dominion over the land. The Israelites will inherit cities, houses, and vineyards, and they will enjoy the fruits of the labor of those they conquer. This promise is not just about material wealth, but about a life of abundance and joy, a life lived in harmony with God's will. However, the curses are a terrifying warning of what will happen if the Israelites fail to keep the covenant. The descriptions of the curses are graphic and haunting, painting a picture of a nation besieged, starving, and reduced to cannibalism. The language is so intense that it is difficult to read without feeling a sense of dread. The curses are not just a punishment, but a call to repentance, a reminder that the covenant is a serious and binding agreement. The most chilling part of the curses is the description of a future exile, where the Israelites will be returned to Egypt, not as a free people, but as slaves. This is a profound reversal of the Exodus narrative, where God delivered the Israelites from slavery. The idea that they could be reduced to a state worse than slavery is a stark warning of the consequences of breaking the covenant. The curses are not just a threat, but a call to faithfulness, a reminder that the relationship with God is not to be taken lightly. In the end, Moses' speech is a call to a deeper, more intimate relationship with God. It is a call to love and fear the Lord, not out of obligation, but out of a sense of gratitude and commitment. The Israelites are to be a people who live in accordance with God's will, who keep His commandments, and who walk in His ways. This is not just a religious duty, but a way of life, a path to true freedom and fulfillment. Moses' final words are a powerful testament to the enduring nature of the covenant. They challenge the Israelites to embrace a new way of living, a way that is rooted in love and fear of the Lord. As the Israelites prepare to enter the promised land, Moses' speech serves as a final exhortation, a call to faithfulness that resonates through the ages. The land ahead is a gift, but it comes with a responsibility to live in a way that honors the God who has brought them this far. In the end, the message is clear. The Lord requires a circumcised heart, a heart that is fully committed to the covenant. And this commitment is the key to a life of abundance and blessing.